These are my America Stage 2 playing Pickems, and so without further ado, let's get right into it. And first up, when we're gonna take a quick look at the elo ratings, we can see C9 on Ascent as well as Loud on Ascent have a permaban, and G2 have not played Summit. I don't know if it's a permaban, it might be, but could also change for maybe play-ins, maybe playoffs. We will see. But yeah, if we're gonna take a look at the elo ratings, we've got Lev in front, which I would still agree with, even though they didn't go 5-0 and lost to NRG. I would still say that Lev are probably still the best team in Americas. Then there's NRG and 100 Thieves, which I would agree with. These two are the two that conclude the top three. Then after them, kind of in a tier below, which I would also agree with, are G2 and MIBR. And then in a tier below that, Loud, which to be honest, I would probably still agree with once playoffs comes around. Like, even though Loud are already through to playoffs and G2 and MIBR still need to go through play-ins, I still feel like at the end of the day, they will probably end up being better than Loud. At least that's what I would assume. And then after we've got Crew and Sen, and I think for Sen this is fine. I think Crew are a bit overrated. But maybe swap them with C9 and then it fits kind of. Then we got Envy, EG, C9 as I mentioned, and then Furia in last, which I would agree with. Furia really looked quite bad. And yeah, I think EG are clearly above Envy, I would say. And then I will put C9 higher a bit and Crew a bit lower. But overall, I would say the elo rating is fairly decent for Americas thus far, which is nice. So let's hope it's going to continue for playoffs as well. And then now let's get into the actual pick'ems. And last week I went, I would say, respectable 5-3. Uh, I still feel like C9 winning over the 100 Thieves, Loud winning over G2, and Crew winning over Sentinels. All three of these were upsets. So I wouldn't say I feel too bad about getting them wrong. But yeah, overall decent. And so now let's get into the play-in pick'ems. And so what we're gonna do here again is we're gonna go over these four starting matches a bit more in detail, where I talk a bit more about the tier 2 teams in terms of who they are and some players that I know at least, and kind of my expectations generally about them. I don't know a ton about them, so it's not gonna be that accurate, but yeah, still gonna try my best. And so in the first matchup, we've got Crew versus Bestia. I don't know if it's Bestia or Bestia. I think Bestia. And for this team, we've got Melza, who used to be on Crew actually, and Takolia, who used to be on like an OG, like 22, 23 kind of vibe on Leviathan. So these are the only two players that I really know about this team. It's a number one LATAM team, and yeah, I think that's about it, what I know about them. I think they're gonna be decent, but I don't think that I would expect them to do great things really. But that being said, I think this is gonna be a really close matchup. And since it's gonna be a revenge game for Melza, I think it would be really dope if Bestia were to win this. I certainly think they have a shot at winning this. I think it's gonna be a really close one between these two, and so yeah, why not go for the maybe slight upset for Bestia to win this. The second game is Envy versus M80, and M80 is a staple in tier 2 really. Like, they've always done very well within the North America side, and yeah, they've qualified to, like, I think pretty much every ascension and they came fairly far in each of them. So I think for M80 we can expect quite a bit of them. They obviously are the North American #1 seed, and they have players like Caillou, who used to be on Sentinels. They've got Nismo, who was on TSM for a long time, so I know him a lot from Tier 2. And then also there's Elvin Boy, who I know from Tier 2 quite a bit, who I think is a really exciting prospect. I don't know how insane he is gonna be, but I'm at least really interested to see him in Tier 1. And obviously the coach is also interesting to mention, since it's Kaplan, who used to be on Sentinels. And so Caillou and Kaplan, who both got kicked from Sentinels over the course of this year, then going to M80 and making it on in. I think the matchup that we're all hoping for is to get Sentinels versus M80, which would be dope. And I think M80 are actually going to be favorites versus Envy as well. With Envy, I don't have a lot of hope in this team that they're going to do anything. For M80, I come in with quite a bit of hope that they're going to do well. So yeah, I think M80 in this are favorites, and I really, really hope that M80 win this so we get this Sentinels versus M80 banger. The third match is Furia versus 2Game Esports, and 2G, we obviously know the org who was last year in Tier 1, so this is a Brazilian matchup. And 2G was the #2 seed out of Brazil, actually. So Fluxo, or what used to be La Masia, is the #1 seed out of Brazil, and 2G came in through the LCQ. And 2G has players like Gobera or Genom or QCK that you might know. These were all in Tier 1 not too long ago. So I think there's quite a lot of hype around this team, and I certainly believe that this team can do some things as well. I think they're gonna win versus Furia. Actually, I think they're probably favorites versus Furia as well, just because of how shit Furia has looked recently. I feel like 2G are gonna be better than them. And yeah, in this matchup, I see them as favorites, and uh, yeah, I hope for 2G that they can deliver on that. The last matchup is C9 versus Fluxo, which, as I've already said, used to be La Masia, who is the #1 seed out of Brazil, and they have Tuis on their team. For me at least, that's the only notable member. That's the only one that I know. The rest of them are Tier 2 players that have not been in Tier 1 previously, unless I'm forgetting someone. But yeah, this team did beat 2G, so because of that, I gotta give this team some respect as well. And yeah, I think this is gonna be a really, really exciting matchup, because in a way, I think this matchup is gonna tell us a bit more about how good these Tier 2 teams are actually gonna end up being. Because with the other matches, I feel like their opponents really haven't looked good, and C9 actually looked quite good in the last match. So because of that, I think this is going to be the most telling match in terms of how good these Tier 2 teams are going to do, since they obviously have the advantage of having more prep time, which I think is massive. But yeah, I nonetheless think this is going to be a really close match, and I am going to give it to C9 because I really liked what I've seen from them in the last week. And so yeah, through that, I think I have more trust in C9 overall. So now let's continue with the upper bracket, and I think we're gonna be a lot quicker with these matches now. So MIBR versus Bestia, I still think MIBR should be fine in this. Then Sen versus M80, it's the banger that I'm really hoping we get to see. And I gotta say, I think Caillou and Kaplan will want this more than the Sentinels members. I think they will be so hungry for this match. This match is what they are looking forward to themselves. Um, and yeah, I think this match is gonna be the most important one for these two. And so they will come in frying. And yeah, I think M80 really has a shot in this. Since Sentinels have looked quite good, I don't think this is gonna be a clear win for M80. But yeah, I just hope it's gonna happen. But Sentinels would probably be favorites in this. But nonetheless, I think MIBR are gonna qualify over M80. Just MIBR are too solid of a team. I think overall they're just too good. I can't really see them losing this, if I'm being honest. Then G2 versus 2G, I think it could be an interesting one. I don't know how good G2 are gonna look because they really have not looked that great in stage 2. And they've really been struggling, which is kind of rare for G2 within the Americas regular season. So yeah, there certainly are some worries for G2, but I still think they are gonna be fine with 2G. For EG versus C9, I like more of what I've seen from C9 recently. It might be a lot of recency bias in this, but yeah, I really like what I've seen from C9. And G2, I still think are gonna qualify together with MIBR as the first two out of the play-in format. Then in the lower bracket, we've got Crew versus EG, which I think is gonna be a banger as well. I would still say, even with Crew's win in last week's matchup, I still am not on board with this team being good, so I'm gonna go with EG. I think 2G are gonna win versus Envy. I don't feel like Envy really can win right now. Then EG versus 2G. I still think I think EG are probably favorites in this, let's be real. But I don't think it's out of the possibility for 2G to win this. And so I think I'm gonna go with the advantage of prep. And I'm gonna go with 2G here. Also because I think it would just be sick if we have at least one tier 2 team making it on in, and that would guarantee it. But I would still give it to M80. I think for me personally, I think M80 are gonna be the best tier 2 team coming into the playing format. So yeah, I feel like M80 are probably the ones to qualify out. Then Furia versus Sen. I think Sen are gonna win this. Furia are looking quite bad, so I think Sen should be fine. I think Fluxo are gonna win as Bestia. I think Sen are gonna win with Fluxo then. And then C9 versus Sentinels. Oh, I also think it's gonna be a really interesting matchup. I could realistically see it going either way, but I think I'm gonna pick Sen overall. I've just been Overall, I've been really impressed with how they've looked compared to stage 1. I feel like they're much more solid now, and yeah, the fundamentals seem to be much better, and the team seems to be gelling better. So yeah, I feel quite good on not that good about Sen, obviously, but I feel decent enough about this team that I think they can certainly make playoffs. And so overall, I feel like with these Pickems, with MIBR and G2, I'm fairly certain that they're gonna make it. I feel like one tier 2 team has pretty good odds to make it through. I think M80 or 2G have the best odds of making it just due to their due to the roads that they have within the playing format. I don't know if I would say that 2G are better than Fluxo since they obviously won versus them. I would still kind of put them on equal footing. probably in terms of expectations, but I feel like 2G has an easier road through this playing format. So because of that, I think M80 or 2G probably have the best odds to make it through. And then I think the last spot is, in my opinion, probably between C9 or Sentinels. And I've gone with Sentinels here. But as always, let me know in the comments below what you guys think. Who are the 4 teams that you think will make it through? What are your expectations for the tier 2 teams, and how would you rate them? Kind of how far do you think each team is going to go? And who do you think is the best out of the 4? And then we're going to see each other tomorrow actually for the China playoff. I think I'm going to do power rankings and Pickems, but I'll see tomorrow.